Welcome to today's tele-education class. Today we are going to learn functional English. Okay, so what will be today's topic of discussion? Today's topic of discussion will be question words. So dear students, before I start today's class, I would love all of you to have a notebook and a pen and to write down the important points which we are going to discuss today. Okay, so I hope you all know what is question words, the words which are usually used while making a question. Okay, so let's see. So what do you see on the screen? You can see WH words, helping verbs and modal verbs. Okay, so in this table we will get to know what are WH words, then helping verbs and modal verbs. Okay, with what kind of WH words, what kind of helping verbs are used, and what kind of helping verbs, what kind of modal verbs are used. Okay, associated verbs we will learn. Okay, so first let us know what is WH words, what kind of words are WH words. Okay, so as you can see on the screen that WH words are what, where, when, why, who, whom, whose, which, and how. So I'll just repeat once again. What are WH words? WH words are usually question words, okay? We use them while questioning, use them in a sentence which uses questions, okay? So what are WH words? WH words are what, where, when, why, whom, whose, which, and how. So now we will see with what, the word with what kind of helping verbs are used, okay? So just have a look at the screen. So with what we will use the helping verbs, which we even call be verbs. We'll use it as is, was, have, has, okay? Once again, I'm repeating with the word what. Suppose, let me give you an example like what is your name? Okay, so with what we will use the helping verb or be verb, that is. What was, then what have, and what has. That is how we use the words in a sentence. Okay, so I hope you understood like what, with what kind of WH word, what kind of helping verbs will go. Similarly, we will come to see the next WH words. Have a look at the screen. Okay, see here with the question, that is the WH word, what kind of helping word goes. So WH word here is where. With where goes the helping verb do, are, is, does, and where. Once again, I am repeating with the WH word where, do, are, is, does, and where. That means the where. Let's say, for example, if we are making a use of the helping verb and the question word where, we can make a sentence like this, like where do you stay? This is one example, okay? So I hope you understand. Like first sentence I have used what is your name, second sentence where do you stay, okay? These are the like kind of examples I am giving you so that you can understand how to use WH words, how to use helping verbs, okay? So let's come to the next one. What is the next one? The next one is when. The next WH word is when. And with when, what kind of helping words we are using? We are using is, are, were, did. So what kind of helping verbs we are using? We are using is, are, when, did. Is, are, where, did. Okay. So we'll come to the next one. The next one WH word is why. So why, will, would, and should. So why? So why will you go there? Okay, this kind of sentences we can use using WH words and helping verbs. So along with in a sentence, when we are using WH words, so with every WH words there will be a be verb or a helping verb. Okay, did you understand the point? Okay, very good. Now you see the next one. The next one is who. with the WH word who, we will use will, would, can, shall, should. Okay. So who will be doing the tasks? Okay. For example, if I write a sentence, who will be doing the tasks? Okay. Who can do the work? Okay. These are the examples I'm giving you just to make you understand that how WH words and helping verbs are used in a sentence. Okay. Till here, I am sure uh, you have understood the concept of using WH words and helping verbs, right? Okay, great. Now next you see the next WH word is whom, and with the WH word whom we use the helping verbs shall, will and should. Okay, so we will use this kind of word with WH word whom, shall, will, should. Okay, now we will go to the next one to see with the WH word whose, what kind of helping verbs we are using? With whose we are using is and are. Okay. Whose book is this? Okay. So this kind of things. Okay. This kind of helping verbs are used. Now you can see another WH word coming up on your screen, and that is which. With which, what kind of helping verbs are we using? We are using would, will, can and should. Once again, I am repeating, with WH word which, we will use would, will, can and should. Okay. Next, we'll come to how. So with the WH word how, we will be using the helping verbs how, can, will, could, would and should. Okay. So I'll just repeat these two columns so that you get the concept of using WH words and the helping verbs in a sentence. How to form a questioning sentence with the use of WH words and helping verbs. Okay, so that you get a proper idea. So I'm just repeating once again. Have a look at the screen. That is, what is, was, have, has. So first WH word is what. With what we are using is, was, have and has. The second WH word is where, and with where we are using do, are, is, does and where. And the third WH word we are using here is when. That is, with when we are using the helping verb is, are, where, did. Okay. The next WH word is why. With why we are using will, would, should. The next WH word is who. With who we are using will, would, can, shall, should. So with the next WH word, which is whom, with whom we are using shall, will, should. The next WH word that is coming on the screen is whose, is, are. With the next WH word, which would, will, can, should is coming. Okay. And the last but not the least, how. With the WH word how, we are using can, will, could, would and should. Okay. So I hope till here the concept of WH word, what are WH words, what are helping verbs, we have got the clear-cut concept, right? I hope till here you have understood. Okay, great. Now we will be looking with what kind of modal verbs are used with a particular WH word and a particular helping verbs. Okay, just let's have a look at the modal verbs. So here we will use something. You can just have a look at the table here. So the table here is the first modal verbs, as I've said, what that will be going with WH word, helping verbs is that with what we can also use the modal verbs called should, shall and can. Okay. So what should we do now is a sentence. Okay. So when we use the word should is not a be verb. You need to understand that after every WH question, either we are using helping verb or a modal verb or a main verb. Okay. So the words like should, shall, can is what? It's a it's a what? It's a modal verb, right? So just for example, I can give you a sentence and the sentence is like, what should we do now? What shall be our work? So these kind of sentences we can use. Okay. So let's see next one. With the next WH word, that is where, we can use the modal verbs like will, shall, will or shall, okay, will or shall, and should. So where will you go? Where should we go? These are the modal verbs we are using with the WH words. Okay. Next we'll see the WH word is when, and with when we are using the modal verb like can, could, will, and should. Okay. So what kind of modal verb we are using with when? We are using can, could, will, and should. Okay. The next one, have a look. The next WH word is why. So with why, what kind of modal verbs we are using? We are using will, would, and should. So why will you do this work? This is one more example I can use with the word why, with the WH word why and the modal verbs. Okay. I hope till here your concept is clear. Okay, great. Now have a look at the next WH word and the modal verb. The next one is who. So with the word WH word who, what we are using? We are using the modal verbs like will, would, can, shall, and should. I hope this much is clear to you all. Okay, very good. Next, have a look at the WH word whom. Okay, so with whom, what kind of modal verbs we are using? We are using shall, will, and should. Okay, the next modal verb, next WH word and the modal verb, just have a look in the screen. The first WH word is, the next WH word is whose, and along with that, what we are using? We are using the modal verb that is is or are. I hope you understood the difference, right? Okay. Next you see, with the WH word, that is which, we are using the modal verbs would, will, can, should. Okay. Once again, with the WH word, which we are using the modal verbs would, will, can, and should. Okay. Next you see the WH words how. With the WH word how, we are using the modal verbs can, will, could, would, and should. Okay. So now I hope you have understood that what are WH words, what are helping verbs, and what are modal verbs. Okay. So WH words are the words like which are used in questioning. So they are the examples are given here. You can see what, where, when, why, whom, whom, whose, which, and how. And along with this WH word, what kind of helping verbs are used? Like with what? Is, was, have, has is used. Okay. And similarly, the modal verbs called should, shall, can is used. Okay. The next one we'll see the WH word where. With where, what kind of helping verb is used? The helping verb or the be verb which is used is do, are, is, does, where. And the modal verb which is used is will or shall and should. Okay. So the third one, you see WH word, that is when. With when, the helping verbs is, are, were, did. And the modal verbs is can, could, will, should. Okay. So the next one you see on the screen, that is why. With the WH question why, the helping verb which is used is will, would, should, and the modal verb is used is will, would, should. Please have a look. You can just note down this because this is very important. And the next one you can see on the screen is the WH word is whom. So with whom, what we are using? We are using the helping verbs, that is shall, will, should, and the modal verb, that is shall, will, should. Okay. So the next WH word you can see on the screen along with the helping verb, that is whose, are, is, are, and the modal verb here is also the same. So you see here, I would like to put a star on this WH word, that is whose. With whose, here the helping verb and the uses of modal verb is same. It's not different. That is, it is an is and are and is are. Okay, it's the same. You did not to change it. Okay, get that thing very clear. With the word WH word whose, you will not change the helping verb, and also you will not change the modal verb. It will remain the same. Either you will use is or you will use are. Similar goes with the modal verbs. Next you see which, would, will, can, should, and the modal verb is also like would, will, can, should. It's the same. You need not to change. Okay. And the last one, that is how, that is can, will, could, or should. This is also the same. Helping verb and modal verb is the same. You need not to change in this question, in this WH words. Okay. So I hope this entire concept, this entire table, that is WH words, helping verbs and modal verb, this concept is clear to all of you, right? Okay, very good. Now let's see what's coming up on the screen. So now we will learn the usage of this WH word. So the first WH word that is coming up on the screen is what. So let's see where the what is used. What is the usage of the word what? So what do you do when you use the word what? What means asking for information. So whenever we use the word what we do? We ask for information, right? So next you see, just I'll give some examples so that you can get a grasp of where to use the word WH word what. So see here, what is your name? If I ask, that means what? I'm asking some kind of information, right? Okay. Another example, what is your age? Another example, what do you do? And another example, what does your father do? Okay. So I'll tell you some more. The usage of what. So when we are using the WH question, that is word, the word is what we are doing? We are asking for information. So I'll put you some examples here. You can see the examples. What is your name? What is your age? What do you do? What does your father do? So these are the examples. Another examples we have on the screen is what time does the train arrive? So these are the questions that we are asking information for. Okay. These questions using what, using the WH word what, we are asking what? The information, right? So I hope the concept is clear. Another example that is coming up on your screen is what time does the bus leave? Okay. So see here, all the WH question, that is the word what, is underlined, and you can also see the helping verbs or the be verbs is also underlined. See here, is, do, does. These all are highlighted. You know, these all are helping verbs. Okay. So this was the first usage of what, that is for asking for information. Now, second usage of the WH word is, point number 2 is asking for opinion. That means what is your opinion regarding a particular, let's say particular thing or particular, particular object or particular situation. So these are the things. Okay, so with what you will be, the point number 2 usage is asking for opinion. So I'll give you some examples which you will see on your screen. So the first example coming up is, what do you think about it? Next example, what is your opinion about retirement age for politicians? Now this question is asking your opinion. So if I am asking this question to you, so what you will answer? You'll give your particular opinion, isn't it? What do you think about this particular, let's say, the retirement age of politicians? You will give your personal opinion, isn't it? So what is that WH question, which is also used for asking an opinion? Okay. So you can see some other examples that is coming up on the screen. So see here, the word what is highlighted, the helping verb do, is highlighted. Okay, so this was the uses. First one was what, asking for information. Second one was what, asking for opinion. And the third one is what, asking for repetition or confirmation. So if you are asking for repetition or confirmation at that point of time, we use the word what. Okay, so I'll give you the examples here in the screen. So you can see, what is the first example? What? Can you repeat that again? So when we are saying what, that means what? We want a repetition, isn't it? We are not clear what we have heard previously. So in order to know that, we repeat that again. Okay? We repeat that again. So what? Can you repeat that again? Another one. We normally use the word pardon when we want someone to repeat what they told. So whenever we don't, another option is also given here. Whenever we don't hear when someone is saying something, what do? We ask them to, we use the word called pardon. Okay. So when we are asked to repeat something to someone, so we say pardon please. This kind of things are also used. Okay. So again, I would like to repeat, asking for repetition or confirmation is another usage of what. And for example, I'll give what. Can you repeat that again? So we normally use the word pardon when we want someone to repeat what they told. Okay. What is there? Can. And now, what for is another word. Now, where do we use the question word what for? So, what for is basically used to know the reason. So, what for are you going there? What for are you doing this task? These all are the sentences which are basically used to know the reason. Okay, so have a look at the examples. What made you do that? So suppose if you're doing some kind of work, or let's say some kind of activity or something. So this question goes very well. What made you do that? That means what? The in answer we are trying to know the reason behind doing some particular work or some particular action. Okay. So the next one you see, what for have you come here? Okay, what for have you come here? This is also used to know the reason. So here you can see the word what has been highlighted. That means the WH question, what is highlighted. Next you see the verbs are highlighted, made and have. Okay. Now we will come to the next WH question, that is when. So when do we use when? What is the uses of when? You can write it down because last we have discussed the uses of what. Now we will discuss the usage of when. So see here in the screen it's written, to know about the time of happening of an action. So when a particular action, or let's say whenever a particular activity is going on, to know the timing, particular timing when a particular activity is going on. So that time we use the WH word, that is when. Okay, that time only we use the WH word when. Now you see few examples will be coming. So see the first example that is coming up. When were you born? So when were you born means in answer, we are trying to know at what time were you born? That means a time. When were you born? That means timing is will be the answer here. In answer, what we are trying to know? We are trying to know the timing. Okay? We are trying to know the timing. When is your birthday? When are you coming to Bangalore? When did India get independence? So have a look at the examples of using when. So when do we use the word when? To know about the time of happening of an action. So the examples I'll repeat once again so that you can get a grasp of whatever I'm trying to teach. So when were you born? When is your birthday? When are you coming to Bangalore? When did India get independence? So the answer of all this question will be in time. Okay. So see here the WH question when is highlighted and also the helping verbs that is where, is, are, did. These all are also underlined. Okay. Now another usage of the word when is given here. You can have a look. So to know about the exact time or exact day, first of all, it was to know about the time. Okay, nothing in particular, but sometimes we use when just to know about a particular or the exact time or the exact day or the exact time span. We want to know. In order to know that, we use the word when in the question. So there are some examples. You can have a look at the examples. Okay. So the first example that is coming up on the screen is when will the movie start? The next one is when is Ramzan festival? Another one is even though it refers to time, we use what because we are asking for information. So I'll get back to this later. The first of all, you just see the two examples. The two example is when will the movie start? That means we are asking for time. Okay. We are asking for time that at what time will the movie start, isn't it? So when is Ramzan festival? Okay. We want to know a particular date. So when will be the Ramzan festival starting? So this is what we use when. But I must say that in these sentences, apart from using when, we can also use the WH question what, because here in this particular sentences, if you observe carefully, we are also trying to find out information. So we can also use the WH question what. Okay, I hope you will remember this. Okay, great. Now I'll just repeat this. So when is used to know about the exact time or day. For example, when will the movie start? When is Ramzan festival? Even though if it refers to time, we use what because we are asking for information. So I hope this much is clear to all of you. Now you see the WH question when is highlighted and also the helping verb will is also highlighted. Okay, I hope till here your concept is clear. Okay, very good. Now let's see the point number 3, another usage of the WH question, that is when. To ask about a time period or duration. So let's say suppose we are doing some kind of activity or some kind of work. How much time will it take? How much time duration we are going to spend on a particular time? So in order to know that, we use the WH word when. Okay. So to ask about a time period. So just to see the example, so you will understand this particular usage. So when did Ashoka rule? So when did Ashoka rule? Here in answer, what we want to know? We want to know at from what time period, from what time period to what time period Ashoka has ruled, isn't it? We would want to know that. So what we ask, what is the question here? The question here is, when did Ashoka rule? This is one example. Here when is highlighted, you can see. Did is a helping verb. Now, next we will see the usage of another WH word, that is where. Okay. So where do we use where? We use where to ask about a place. Okay. So let's say let's say Taj Mahal located. So we'll use the word where. Okay. So just to know about place. So see here, where do you live? This is one of the examples. We ask often, isn't it? We ask to our friends, we ask to our associates everywhere that where do you live? Once you meet a person, you'll ask this, isn't it? Where do you live? Okay. Then you see, where do you work? Whenever you come in contact with somebody new, you ask these questions, right? Where do you live? Where do you work? Where are you planning to go during summer holidays? This is often question, a big question. I think we all need to ask you, and even you have to ask us, right? So where are you planning to go during summer holidays? So these are the questions, just to know about, just to ask about the place. That means where is the exact place? Okay. Next, you see, where is the post office? We need to know the location, right? So in order to know the location, we use the WH word, that is where. Another example coming up on the screen, that is, where does the bus come from? That means here also we are trying to know the location. I'll try to repeat once again. Where do you live? Where do you work? Where are you planning to go during summer holidays? Where is the post office? Where does the bus come from? Okay. So another example, where does this bus go? So these questions are all related to know or to ask about a place. That means the answer here should come in a location. Okay. The answer here should be in a location. Let's say, for example, where do you live? I live in so and so place. Answer will be in addressing the location or a particular place. Okay. So here you can see on the screen all the WH words are underlined. That is where. Where is one WH word? It is underlined. And next you can see all the helping verbs is underlined here, like do, are, is, does. Okay. These are highlighted. Now, another usage of the WH word where is coming up on the screen, that is to ask about the position, placement of a thing. That means where an object is placed or where the placement is kept. Okay, where a particular object is kept. So to know the position. Okay. So what you can see on the on your screen, we can see a table, we can see a ball on the table, and on the floor a table is kept, and on the table a ball is kept. So we will try to know the location. Okay. So where is the ball? What will you answer? It's on the table, right? So here, where is the ball? Where is the WH word? And in answer or in the question itself, we are trying to know about the position or placement of a particular thing. Okay. Next, you see, is the helping verb. It is on the table. Okay. So as I asked you, where is the ball? The answer will be, it is on the table. So see the ball, uh, the ball. So where is the ball? Another question coming up on the screen. So here, where is what? Where is the WH question? Is the helping verb. And it is in my hand. The ball is kept in this position, right? So it is in my hand. So in the answer, we are trying to know, to ask about the particular position or the placement of a particular thing. So I hope you have understood the entire concept of the WH words. What are the WH words? What are the helping verbs and the modal verbs? Usage of what, when, and where. I hope this is useful for today's class. So I hope you have understood all this, and thank you for attending today's class.